Here's how you start a business with zero cost out of pocket, zero overhead, and never having to do the work yourself. I want to tell you a secret. I built the #1 ranked Google Ads agency in the world. I sold it 2 years ago for an 8-figure sum. When I sold it, I had $100 million in ad spend under management. I had 200 clients, and here comes the punchline. I've never run a Google Ads campaign in my life. As a matter of fact, when I started to build and scale a Google Ad campaign, I didn't have Google Ads fulfillment in-house. Instead, I went and I interviewed every single Google Ad agency on the planet that provided white label services, and I found the one that I was most comfortable with, that I thought was the best, and I just started reselling their services. This is what I'm getting at. This is the lesson that I learned. Entrepreneurship is not fulfillment. And that's one of the most important lessons I've ever learned. Entrepreneurship is not fulfillment. Here's the problem. If I tried to start a Google Ads agency right now today, and I had to learn everything from the ground up, one, that's something of a triple PhD endeavor. If you've ever tried to run Google Ads yourself, you know what I mean. It's hard. It's hard to learn. There's a massive learning curve to it. And you actually need clients. You need ad spend. You need fodder. You need to be able to walk through the motions and make mistakes. It's a difficult endeavor. And to do that while also trying to figure out how to run a business, build a business, scale a business, sell, grow, build a brand, feels nearly impossible. It's overwhelming at an absolute minimum. So what's the alternative? Find a provider. And this, by the way, isn't limited to Google Ads. This framework is applicable to almost any industry. You could be starting a septic company, to software development, to consulting, therapy, telemedicine. It doesn't matter. Find the provider that you know, like, and trust that's willing to be a white label solution. And then turn yourself into a sales organization. It puts you in a position of being able to learn everything there is to learn about the business with quite literally zero risk. You have no investment, no infrastructure, no overhead, no cost of goods. You don't pay anything until you've earned the client. And then you house the client with the provider, and you're allowed to back into a framework where you actually have margins. So this puts you in a position of being able to build a business without the infrastructure that most people have to invest in order to build their business. What was interesting about my scenario is, at a certain point, we outpaced our provider. The white label agency that we were using couldn't grow fast enough. So then we were able to build our Google Ads agency in-house from the ground up. But I already had everything I needed. When I did that, I think I already had 60 clients at that point. And building the employee base became so much easier because I had the funds, I had the revenue, I had the know-how, I had the knowledge. We had an in-house client management team. And so it was just this transition where we took this agency down and we brought everything in-house. And you can do this exact same thing, and you can do it in literally any business. So if you don't know where to start as an entrepreneur, fulfillment is where everybody goes because they think that's what they need from a business perspective. It's not. Fulfillment's actually the easy part. When you're starting a business, the fulfillment already exists. The thing that doesn't exist is you, the business, the brand. So if you want to build a business and build a brand, you can build a business and a brand on top of somebody else's fulfillment. This lets you make all your mistakes, but with way less risk because you're not going out of pocket to build that entire overhead. Here's the other thing that was really interesting. The agency that we were outsourcing to was also taking on clients themselves. And yet our client engagements were better, more effective, more successful. Our clients' performance tended to be better. And the reason for that was we were an added layer of protection. So in between the agency and my client existed me. We provided another layer of project management, oversight, checks and balances. We looked at all the analytics and the reports, where this agency, like every other business, was just trying to keep up. And we were a client to them, and they had a whole host of clients on their own. And they were trying to manage all those clients the way that anybody would when they were trying to literally be everything to everybody. The only thing we had to do was take care of our clients, make sure that the campaigns were running well, and if they weren't, run interference. And it put us in a position of building a business without not just the risks, but the headaches and the stressors that most people have. So there's nothing wrong with the white label model. I think it's if you don't know where to start, this is a phenomenal place to start. Go find a product, a service, a software that you really believe in, and position yourself as a value-added reseller. And then if and when you're ready, you can start to take those things in-house. So this is the best advice I have for young entrepreneurs that want to get into the game, but they don't know how. This is the approach. Entrepreneurship's not fulfillment. Build a business and build a brand around something that you believe in, and then if and when you're ready, you can scale the white label relationship down and you can start to bring it in-house. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.